Hello, America. How you doing? Just here again with my opinion on things, and I want to talk about the Tea Party. I want to say that all you people that automatically want to bash the Tea Party because they're a group, all you people that are for your agenda, whatever that may be, dislike the fact that they're just trying to go back to an upholding foundation of this country, the Constitution, before the interference of a lot of this regulation in government, the size of government. The taxes and the debt come directly from the size of the government. Now, you may not agree with the Tea Party's theory of some of their politics. I don't agree with some of their theory on their politics, but the one thing I've noticed is they're trying not to be just one policy, one sound voice, all lockstepping in behind some idealism, whether it be taxes, immigration, abortion, whatever that is. They're not isolating themselves to this one subject and offending people with that subject. Now, what I think is that Democrats need to think about their party and need to think about having a Democratic Tea Party, a party within your party that more speaks to your voice, to let your opinion or non-opinion be heard. I'm going to get to that in the Democratic Tea Party. That's the next video I'm going to do. But back to the Tea Party. Why would you bash on these people for asking about fiscal responsibility? Telling the government, we want you to be smaller, we want you to be more streamlined, we want you to be efficient to our needs and no more. Don't create extra things and new needs that we have. Let's be small and efficient. Americans can take care of their needs if they have the infrastructure. Now, whether you're a free thinker, a conservative, a progressive, whatever you want to call it, I'm unaffiliated. I'm an independent. And whatever you want to call it, at some point in time in your life, you have to operate on common sense. And you have to say, I can't afford the $4,000 a month house, even though it's nice and even though all my relatives have somewhere to live. You can't afford it. And so you have to downsize. And a lot of us are familiar with our companies downsizing, cutting out our jobs, outsourcing our jobs. Now, so you tell me, and I'm not going to point at a party, but I'm just going to say, you tell me that you don't think government should downsize along with us, that government should not shrink at least at the same rate that your corporation downsized and that your home downsized. In other terms, here you've had to make sacrifices, and you've had to make choices, and to make your budget balance, because you can't run at a deficit. But you're going to say that, well, I want to give government the right to go ahead and run at a deficit, to not balance its budget, not to try to trim itself. I can't see many Americans agreeing with that. Now, we all want to argue about what to cut, but you have to look at the pie. And when you look at the pie, all the stuff we're arguing about equals to what? 14%, 20% of the budget? And then there's a huge section for military operations. Now, like Ron Paul says, military operations are different from defense. Defending your border, having squadrons maintained for defense, navies for defense, is different than military operations. And the military operations that we have going on all over the world cost money. And everybody, understandably, in Congress does not want to say the word cut defense, because they're afraid Americans will be so scared that they'll vote them out. Well, I think it's time that you say, I'm not scared. I think it's time to tell them we're not that scared. Let's pull our troops, reconsolidate what we got. We can defend our country easily. What we're not being able to afford to do is enforce poor foreign policy to keep mopping up the messes that we've made around the world for the last 60 years, piddling around, spending the Americans' wealth. Spending our wealth around the world to influence countries to believe like we do and to have free governments and corporations and businesses go in there and use their resources and make a market and develop their country, and the people grow. It costs us money to do that, and it's cost us money in all these countries: Egypt, Tunisia, Libya, Afghanistan, Iraq, Pakistan, Syria, Saudi Arabia, Kuwait. I mean, that costs us money. And right at this minute, America needs to cut. Just like we have at home. I've trimmed my grocery bill and gas bill, drive less. And I know all Americans are doing that. We're all sacrificing because we got to afford what we do. Well, government needs to afford what it does. And that's what the Tea Party's trying to bring about. I'm not in the Tea Party, but that is their message. Fiscal responsibility of government, which I am for. And I would imagine that you're for too. So we need to let our voices be heard and say either party, regardless, let's be financially responsible and let's look at where the big drains are on our tax dollar, and let's reduce those and streamline those, downsize them, just like our jobs have been, our homes have been, and our lives have been. We've downsized. Government needs to downsize with us. Think about it. Look for my next video on the Democratic Tea Party.